I'm so excited to be here today. Hello.
Hello.
Can we all agree here today, together, that we are pretty fortunate to be here today?
Yes.
We are pretty lucky to be here today. You know, we are pretty lucky because we don't live in a world where our grandmothers and mothers lived, where they didn't have any choices or opportunities. We live in a world where every day we have choices. We choose who to become. We are accountable. We are responsible. Here today, this is what we do. But so many women, and as I said, and I will tell you again, that we have about 800 million people worldwide who are illiterate, can't read. They can't read this slide, for instance. And 500 million out of those people are women. Now, they live in a different world, yes? This world does not exist for them. I know a little bit about that world. In fact, I come from that world. And today, right now, I am going to take you on a journey. Are you ready?
Yes.
Well, buckle up because we have about 7,000 miles to go to get to that world. So, everyone, we are going to Eastern Europe, Romania. Yeah, you're excited, yes? Awesome. How many of you have been to Romania? Yeah, I didn't think. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I was going to say, yeah, I didn't think so, but thank you so much. We have to talk after. Absolutely. Yes. So we are going to Romania, 7,000 miles away. We are going to a tiny village where I grew up. I grew up in this tiny village. Chichinețu it's called. And of about 300 people in this village. The house I grew up in had dirt floors and ceilings. No indoor plumbing. You know what that means, right? No showers. No running water, no showers. Of course, no cell phone. And we only had one TV, 2 channels, black and white, that rarely worked. Which was okay because we were so busy, you know. I grew up on a farm. Life was hard on the farm. I learned how to become responsible and accountable very early in life. Not by choice. And remember, we are discussing about having choices. When you have choices, you become whoever you want to become. But when you don't have choices, you do what you are told. So learning how to become responsible, you know, when I was thinking about, wow, you know, I became responsible and accountable so early on in life because I had no other choice. You know, you grow up on a farm, everyone is doing the same thing. I was doing the same thing. And so Oprah came to mind, which I'm sure all of you know who she is. And this quote spoke to me. Yes, you know, I never really complained. At the end of the day, if my day was a good one, then it means that I made some good choices. If my day was not very good, I reflected on it, and the next day I made sure that my day would be better. So, here's the village and my house where I grew up. Several images, just to give you an idea. Okay, so I grew up in this house for about 16 years. Life was not easy. But it wasn't hard, really, because I didn't know any better. Everyone lived the same. I had several jobs growing up. I was expected to cook and clean and go to school and bring home good grades. One of the jobs I had was walking the cows every morning to the end of the village, where every cow in the village would go for the day. And then in the evening, another 2 miles, go back to get the cow home for my mom to milk and do all of that. go on a farm with my parents every morning when I wasn't in school at 5 a.m. to work on the field with them. All of these little jobs growing up prepared me for life. All of the values and the skills my parents taught me prepared me for life. But I didn't know back then. I was a child. And I was thinking, what are you doing to me? Your expectations are unrealistic. I'm just a child. No, they weren't unrealistic. I thought they were, but they weren't. Because my parents, probably thought, well, you're going to leave this house one day, and then what are you going to do? The world is tough out there, You need to be able to take care of yourself. You need to be able to overcome whatever obstacles you will have. And this is what you need to do. So, my parents, here they are, my heroes. Yes, my mom and dad. They expected me to do really well in school. And I did. Because I had a choice. I was told that if I do well in school, I don't have to work as hard on the farm. Farm, school, no thank you. So I had to do really well in school, but something happened. I became, okay, we can use the word empowered. I didn't know what that meant back then, of course. But I loved to learn because I was becoming powerful. Knowledge is power primarily when it's applied. Knowledge in itself is useless, but when you apply it, right? When you apply it, thank you. When you apply it to advance your agenda, your goal, your life, to make yourself better, that's when it becomes powerful. And I thought, whoa, I love school. Forget about farm. So one day I come home and I needed help with homework. So I said, Mom, please, I need some help with my homework. And she said, no, I can help you. Mom, what are you talking about? I really need some help over here. And she comes and said, Val, let's have a seat and have a conversation. I can't help you. What do you mean you can't help me? Well, are you kidding me? I really need help here. No, I can't help you because I can't read. I never went to school because her parents didn't have money for shoes. She had two older sisters and they had priority, and when the time came to go to school, they didn't have shoes for my mom to go to school, and she couldn't read. I was shocked, and I think that was a moment when I became aware, right? Awareness. When I became aware that I'm going to do something about this. My life is not going to be like this. I'm not going to be a farm person, a farmer. Nothing wrong with that, right? If it's your choice. But if it's not your choice, then you should always strive to do something better with your life. And so, at 16, in our village, we only had one school, grades 1 to 8. That's it. And for grade 9 and 10, you had to commute 2 miles each way, which I did. And after 10th grade, that's it. That's all the education you can get in the village. So now your choice was to become a farmer and just settle in like most people. Or if you had connections and resources, you would go away and continue your education, which we didn't. So in high school, one of my friends said, Val, I am going to go to a town nearby, about 40 miles away, and begin working at a factory. At a factory, I'm going. I mean, I didn't know what was the factory about. I didn't know what kind of work I would be doing, but I knew one thing, better than farming. Right? Anything is better than farming. I used to joke, and my friends said, look, I was born in the right family, but the wrong place. Okay? No, look at me. These hands are not made for farming. And so my friend tells me about the factory, and there I was with my parents. I tell them, we have to go to this town. After I finished my 10th grade, and me and Dad, and that's another point, which is very instrumental in who I became as a woman. Because my mom couldn't read, my dad had to be with me everywhere. My dad sat with me with homework. My dad came to the school functions. My dad shared with me leadership lessons because he was just amazing. My dad was my role model. I miss him so much. My mom too, but in different ways.
Right.
Yes? So me and my dad, I packed 2-3 clothes, we go to this town, Leclerc. We showed up. I'm here to apply for a job. 16 years old. I was 16 years old. And the lady said, oh, that's great, but you can't start working because you need to be legally 16. And I was 3 months shy of my 16th birthday. So I had to go back home and wait 3 long months. That's when I learned persistence and patience. You know, I said, wow, if you have a goal, this is what you need to do. You can't give up. Okay, 3 months, no problem. Go back to the farm. Work some more. 3 months later, I showed up. We fill out the paperwork. We got a dorm, room with 3 other girls. And 2 or 3 days later, I begin my first paid job. I was now a factory worker. I was a seamstress. I didn't know what that meant. But remember, my goal was bigger than that. There was just one little obstacle on the way, right? To get to where I was going. I didn't know where I was going, but I wanted something better. So I began working. Shift 5 a.m. Well, that's me there. I didn't have shoes either, by the way. And that's me, yeah. So I begin working in the factory. I was 16 years old, shift 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. Yeah, just imagine that for a second. And that night, I had to go to school to finish my high school, 11 and 12th grade. For 3 years, I did that. As you can imagine, all the skills I have learned throughout this process. I was on my own. I didn't have my family with me. I didn't have food. I had to care for myself. I had to make friends. All of the things that I had to endure and sacrifice for a better life. So now I finished my high school and I was yet facing another choice. What do? Do I stay here and become a full-time, lifelong seamstress? Yes? Or I move on and make another choice and just go out there in the world and see what's there for me. So one day I get on a train to go to Bucharest, the capital of Romania. And there was this lady, Anna. And I sit next to her. And of course, I like to speak with people. I like to hear stories because I get very inspired by it. And I see Anna, I think she was in her late 70s. And I tell her, I work at a factory, and I'm only 16 years old, but I have my own money, and I'm independent. And she was impressed by that story. Of course, I understand that. And she said, so what are you going to do next? I don't know, but definitely I'm going to do something. And she said, well, come to Bucharest. Here's my address. And find me and come to me. What? Oh my gosh. In my head, I was already in her house. I was strategizing how to get there, how much money I need, everything. Because remember, my parents supported every choice I've made. Because in their mind, and I always kept hearing this, we are preparing you for the real world. When you go out there, it's your life, do what you want, make your own mistakes, overcome your challenges. It's your life to live. We do the best we can as parents, but then it's up to you and the choices you make to live your dreams, to live the best life you can. So there I was, okay. So I go to Bucharest. I go to Bucharest with just Anna's address, and I look for her, and I find her, and I go to her house. And here I was at Anna's place for about, 2-3 years. And Anna taught me the city life. This is what you do. This is how you speak. This is how you behave. You want to achieve goals. This is how you work for your goals. You have to be persistent. You have to be determined. You have to strategize. And you have to work hard. When people were, my colleagues were out, dancing and having a good time, I was studying. I was thinking and planning my next choice, my next move. What am I going to do from Bucharest? Where I go next? Yes? So, one day I see an ad on the paper. An ad for a contest. Are you ready for this? Singing contest. Full disclosure, I can sing. But believe it or not, I showed up for the contest. I'll never forget, just like I am now on the stage. Now, my thinking was this. Do you think I wanted to become a singer? Just as I didn't want to become a seamstress, right? My plan was not to become a singer. My plan was to own the theater, right? And hire all the singers. And so I went there, of course, needless to say, the judges said, Val, you are very lovely. But I think you have to go home and work a little more on your chords. But something amazing happens, just as it always does in life, right? When you take courage, when you take risks, and you just embrace the world and say, okay, let's see what's going to happen today. I'm ready for this. I met this guy at the contest. He was there to play guitar. Unlike me, he was a good player, guitar player. So we met and we shared a lot of stories and a lot of dreams, and we stayed in touch. And then we lost touch, and he left. And one day, Anna calls me. Anna, remember Anna? Val, you have a card here. From where? I don't know. I think it says USA. Anna, I'm there. I'm on my train, I'm coming. I was thinking, like, what is this? From where? Who? What? Do I know anybody? I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't remember. And so I go to Anna, and I take the card, and I see the card. Val, call me at this number. Let's call it John. I know. John for everything, yes? So, John. So I call, and of course, this was John, the guy I met at the contest that played guitar. And he said, Val, I have an opportunity for you. If you're ready, pack your bags, come to Florida. Mom and Dad, we have to meet tomorrow because I'm leaving. Where are you going? Where are you going? I am going to Florida, the United States of America. And you know, growing up on that 2-channel TV, I watched 2 movies, American movies. Dallas, where I saw how people live. The Jonases, and yeah, I learned that later, yes. And the other movie was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Oh, yeah. And that's right. And guess what? I was Rudy in the movie. Yes, and I was back on the farm, and I was thinking, wow, he's educated and he's an entrepreneur. That's what I'm gonna do. But I was on the farm, and I was dreaming of America and things like that, right? Because that's what you need to do. You need to visualize. Yes, you need to see yourself as such. So now I'm getting this phone call and it says that pack your bags and come to Florida. Yes, I'm on my way. You think I have anything to think about? So I met my parents. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me. We'll stay in touch. And I was at Miami International Airport. I don't think I had more than $100 in my pocket. Clothes, forget about what clothes. But you know what I had? A big head full of dreams and goals. So I arrived. 2 days later, I applied for a job. Miami Beach, Alton Road, retail store. I go there, I interview. My English was not too bad. I interview, and the boss, the owner, looks at me and said, when can you start? Now. Right? I was there for a job. Now. I was so driven. I mean, imagine, I'm coming from a farm. I'm coming from a village of 300 people. And I have made so many choices. And with every choice I made, my life improved. my mindset shifted. I was no longer, not that I was a victim, but I was sort of like in search of my best self. So I began working as a retail associate. How long? For how long? 6 months. Next move, I go to the hotel and I apply at a front desk. And that's when my life really changed. One day, a couple walks in. Remember I told you about Anna and John? You see these people come into your life. People come into our lives. And it's up to us to decide what are we going to do. Right? Because people do have a story. They have a message. They're willing to help. They're willing to inspire and motivate. So this couple walks in. Sharon and Dimitri, my mentors, my adopted parents. They've been everywhere. They taught me everything. So they come in and, from Wisconsin. They were in Miami hunting for a condo. And I was at the front desk. Hello, how can I help you? I was at the front desk. You know? Seamstress and all of that. You see all of that behind. I had a track record of success. That was success. So now I was far more confident. No? My English was a little better. So I gave them the best room at the hotel, and they asked me, where are you from? Romania. Oh yeah, I thought so. You are my kind of people. What do you mean? Dimitri was from Bulgaria. Yes, and his wife Sharon from here. And of course, as I learned, he was educated, master's degree, they had their own company. She was educated, master's degree, their own company, entrepreneurs. They failed, they succeeded, they started another company. I'm here like, oh my gosh, this is it. That's what I'm gonna do. Yes? So one day, they invited me for dinner. Val, would like to invite you for dinner. Would you like to come? Yes. So at the dinner, they offer me a job at their company. Would you like to take this offer? Yes! Why not me? Right? Why not me? And so they really taught me important lessons. And that is, one, to never give up and to become better every day. And that's how my academic career started. Long story short, because of time, I went to Miami-Dade Community College, finished my associate's degree, moved on to my bachelor's degree, moved on to my, yeah, exactly, yeah. This could be very well me, you know, my picture here. But finished my master's degree in Orlando, took a break and went around the world backpacking on my own, came back a different person. I wanted more, I wanted to give back, I wanted to help, I wanted to inspire and empower people to do whatever they want and to show you how it's done, because I've done it. So I come back and say what? You know what? I'm going to go back to school and get a doctoral degree. I'm going to leave a legacy. This is for my mom. My mom didn't go to school because she had no choice. But I have a choice every day. So I went back to school, finished my doctoral degree, and ever since I have been teaching from middle school to high school to college to university. Today, I teach at a university. I create courses online. I conduct different workshops all about women empowerment and choices. We have choices every day. Every day when we get up in the morning, we have a choice. What are you going to do? Go back to sleep or continue to become your better self? So before we leave, as I conclude now, and this is in my book, of course, the primary chapters in the book are about this: health empowerment, financial empowerment, career empowerment, spiritual and political. As we leave this conference, we are going to be here together tomorrow, a year from now, yes? Yes. Okay, so I want you to do this, and this is my call to action. You have to think about a goal in each area and achieve it. And when we meet a year from now, tell us, how much have you grown health-wise? How much have you grown financially, career, spiritual? The goal has to be smart goal, right? Realistic, has to be clear. And you have to see yourself a year from now, a different person, an empowered person. After all, why not you? So I want to thank you so much today for your attention. And if you have any questions, please see me. I'm back there. I'm sitting back there.
Everyone, and this is the reason we need people from other countries in the United States. May we have a standing ovation for this woman who did this in the memory of her beloved mom. She didn't even take any notes with her. That was pretty much verbatim, wasn't it? Wasn't that
thank
moving?
you. Thank you.
And I think to me, one of the most moving of all was her mom had no shoes.
Yes.
And neither did she. And she wanted to make sure that she'd make her mom proud. You're sure making us proud.
Thank you so much.